So, welcome back, students, to this 11th lecture. Okay, this lecture you can say as the second part of the 10th lecture. Okay, so in the 10th lecture, what I discussed was the maximum speed with which a vehicle can take a turn on what you call it as on a flat surface where friction is there. Okay, there is one more example where even though friction is not there, still the vehicle can take a turn, but then you will have to slightly bend. Okay, like if you see the moto drivers and all. Okay, so these moto drivers, if I just show you a simple clip over here. Okay, say you must have seen this in any of the competitions that uh, when these moto drivers, okay, they basically, or these bike drivers, they take a turn, they bend. Okay, the reason for bending is not that their speed increases in turns. Okay, they are able to maintain high speeds just by bending. Okay, of course, in the present example which you are seeing, you have a combination of two things, that the vehicle basically is bending also. Apart from the vehicle bending, you also have friction here. Okay, so what derivation I am going to do is a derivation where I am trying to calculate a maximum speed with which a vehicle can take a turn when there is a even though bending is there, but I'm not taking into consideration the friction part. On a flat road, you saw that the vehicle does not skid because of the friction. Here you can so here I am assuming that friction is not there, but still the vehicle is able to take a turn in what you call it is in the slant way. Okay, so I will just try to take you back to the thing or the forces which come into play when the object is basically in slant position, as you can see in the diagram over here. Okay, so if you just see the diagram which is drawn over there. Okay, and I'll just show you the diagram here, how the diagram is being drawn. That you have a inclined angle over here. Say the inclination is there on that particular road. Okay, then you have basically say you have a vehicle over here. Okay, say this is the vehicle which is shown as per the diagram. Okay, now let us see what are the forces which act on this particular vehicle. Okay, what are the forces which act on this vehicle, right? If the vehicle is there, and we should understand the vehicle is taking a turn, not going upwards. Okay, the vehicle is taking a turn and the angle here is theta. So the forces which act on this vehicle are, first is the downward force. Okay, then the second important force is the force which is acting here. Okay, so then you have this force which is perpendicular here. Okay, this perpendicular force is what is called as the normal force which is acting. Okay, so there is a normal force which is acting, there is a weight mg which is acting. Okay, so you have this weight mg which is acting downwards, then the normal force n which is acting over that side. Okay, then this normal force, I'll just break it into two parts. Okay, one is the upward force, other is the sideward force which is here. Okay, and I'll just start just equating the forces now. So if you see the diagram over here, okay, the forces which can be seen as per the diagram is the weight which is mg acting downwards. Okay, the normal reaction n. Okay, then if this angle is theta, we can show that this particular angle is also theta over here. Okay, so you have this normal reaction which is acting there, right? So yeah, so you have the two components here, right? So you have normal n cos theta, and next you have what is called as n sin theta. Okay, so n cos theta and sin theta, and then you have the centripetal force mv square by r. So if I just write m small m as the maximum force with which a vehicle can take a turn, okay, when it is inclined at an angle, assuming friction is not there. So these two forces, which I'll just show by this marking over here. Okay, so if I just mark these two forces are the horizontal forces. Okay, the two which are horizontally there, they are the horizontal forces, whereas these two forces which are over here, okay, which I'll just indicate here, this forces which is mg acting downwards and cos theta acting upwards with the blue line, they are nothing but the vertical forces. For this vehicle here to be in equilibrium, the vertical forces should be equal, horizontal should be equal. Left hand side force should be equal to right hand side force, upward force should be equal to the downward force. So if I apply that situation, okay, so what we can get over here is that if I apply this mathematical formula here, we get n cos theta equal to mg. Okay, and we get, you can just see the formula, n cos theta becomes equal to mg, upward force is equal to downward force. Okay, and this is the horizontal, this is the vertical situation which we are taken, vertical equilibrium. Equilibrium is balancing, vertical balance should be there, horizontal balance should be there. Okay, then horizontally we see that n sine theta, that should be equal to mvm square divided by r. Horizontal forces, that also should be equal. Now what I'll do here is, this is for horizontal equilibrium. Okay, this is for what you call it as horizontal equilibrium. So you have vertical equilibrium, you have this horizontal equilibrium, right? Now both of them, you have got two equations now. Okay, so let me mention this as something like this, that let us say I mention this as equation 1 and this I'll mention it as equation 2. So how can I get tan theta if I want? If I want tan theta, I can divide second equation by first. Okay, so dividing equation 2 by equation 1, second equation by first. Okay, so what do I get here is, I'll get the equation n sine theta, okay, divided by n cos theta. Okay, as you can see there, what was n sine theta? M Vm square by r divided by mg. Okay, what are the things which may get cancelled? You will see that the things which get cancelled over here is normal reaction, n basically gets cancelled, the mass m gets cancelled, this r is going to be shifted downwards. Okay, this r which you can see, that will be shifted downwards. So you will get the equation now, sine theta divided by cos theta equal to Vm square divided by Rg. Okay, so what is sine by cos? You know that sine theta by cos theta is basically tan theta. Okay, so sine theta by cos theta, I'll substitute it as tan theta, which is Vm square divided by Rg. Okay, so in our diagram, if you see the diagram, this was the angle theta which was taken. Okay, or it means that Vm square equal to Rg tan theta, or Vm is equal to root of Rg tan theta. Okay, so this is how we basically calculate the maximum speed with which a vehicle can take a turn by bending. Okay, so you can see that tan theta, so more the angle, okay, with more speed you can turn. Okay, of course, more the radius, more you can turn. So I can say that Vm is proportional to tan theta, more technically root of tan theta. Also, I can say that maximum velocity is proportional to root of r. Okay, so it basically means that when you are taking a bend, if when you're taking a turn, if you bend, there is a more chance that you will not skid as compared to taking a turn keeping the vehicle straight. So normally what happens is our vehicle automatically we take a slightly our vehicle bends. You must have seen as I'm just showing the diagram over here. Okay, like the clip which I just showed you earlier. Okay, that these motorbikes they basically take a small turn. Okay, or they will just incline themselves at certain angle when they are basically taking a turn. Okay, so that is how you basically calculate the maximum speed with which a vehicle takes a turn. Here I must tell you that in particular example here that there is a friction of the road, but what calculation I have shown here, there is no friction. Okay, so if I just show you the way in which we calculate, now this will be more clearer to you. Okay, say for example, a vehicle is taking a turn. So the forces on this vehicle, as you can see from this particular diagram, okay, and whatever calculations we did, if this is angle theta, there is a normal reaction n. Okay, then there is a weight mg which will be acting downwards. Okay, so n sine theta will should be equal to the centripetal force. That is how we had already seen in the calculation. Okay, so n sine theta becomes equal to mv square by r. Okay, the component of the force n cos theta, that becomes equal to which one? Mg. Okay, so n sine theta, n cos theta. Okay, so and when you divide them, sine theta by cos theta, we got v square by rg. That's what the derivation which we did earlier. Okay, and finally v square equal to rg tan theta, or v equal to root of rg tan theta. Okay, so here I'll just tell you as a first year student that you may be confused why I've taken cos and sine over here. Okay, now if you just see the uh, diagram over here and try to understand, whichever side theta is there, that is always cos. Can you see theta over here? Okay, so if you can see theta over here, so whichever side theta is there, see here this theta, so that's why you have n cos theta here. Other side automatically becomes n sin theta. Okay, we call this as resolution of vectors, which you must have studied in motion in a plane or when you are dealing with vectors. So whichever side theta is there, that is n cos theta. Other side, which is basically called as n sin theta. Okay, like if I just show you the simple resolution, okay, which you can just go through the diagram here. So one is n cos theta. So whichever side theta is there, that side will be cos. The other perpendicular side will be sine. Okay, so that is how we basically try to get the maximum speed with which a vehicle takes a turn on what is called as a banked road. Okay, so let us do a simple calculation. Okay, let us say a vehicle wants to take a turn on a banked road. Okay, uh, where a simple calculation, if I just show you, say what is the maximum speed with which with a vehicle can take a turn. We just now saw the formula, it is rg tan theta. Okay, let us say for example the radius is say 10 meters. Okay, the value of g is 9.8 meters per second square. Okay, the angle theta of the inclination, okay, the angle theta of the inclination, let us say that angle theta is say uh, some value will just take 30 degrees will take. One angle theta is say 30 degrees. The bike basically bends at an angle of 30 degree. Then he can take a turn safely with a speed less than, I'm telling this is a maximum speed, that's why Vm is written. Then he can take a turn with a maximum speed, that is 10 into 9.8 into tan of 30 degrees. Okay, so if you do the calculation for this, I'll just give you 1 minute, try the calculation for this. What will be the answer for this? Yeah, what will be the answer for this? Yeah, so tan 30 degree, if you see the value, it is 0.577. You will have to see the trigonometric tables into 9.8 into 10, and that is the root of that. Okay, and then when you do this particular calculation here, uh, you will get the value that is 10 when you multiply by 9.8 multiplied by 0.577, you will get roughly 56.5. Okay, that will, its root you will have to take now. Okay, the root of this value. Okay, so when you take the root of this value, that is you will get roughly 7.51 meters per second. And if you convert it in kilometers per hour, okay, so 7.51 you will have to multiply by 18 by 5, which is the multiplying factor. So you will get the value. Yeah, roughly 27 kilometers per hour. So that is the maximum speed with which you can take a turn, provided this friction is not there. Okay, so this is how you basically calculate the maximum speed when you are by bending. Okay, assuming friction is not there. If friction is there, then you can go with still higher speeds. Okay, and that will be the next derivation which I will take. That when friction also is there and there is a bending of the roads, when both of them are there, that time what is the maximum speed which the vehicle can take a turn. Okay, for now just go through the derivation once again, and I hope you'll understand it very clearly. Okay, you can see this, I'll just show you once again that how basically the calculations are taken here. Okay, maybe with the clip, with both clip as well as calculation, both I have shown you. Okay, so here you have this, this is a vehicle which is there, the weight mg will be acting downwards. This is a normal reaction. Normal is normal to that incline, 90 degree to the incline, normal. Okay, it has two components, n sine theta, which is equal to mv square by r. Okay, as you can see in this calculation over here, n sine theta equal to, you can see it will be equal to mv square by r. Okay, then you have n cos theta, the other side, which should be equal to mg. Okay, so n cos theta equal to mg, right? So m and m basically gets cancelled. Sin theta by cos theta is tan theta. So here this r comes down, tan theta equal to v square by rg. Okay, and you will get v square equal to rg tan theta, or v equal to root of rg tan theta, right? So this is how we basically calculate it. Okay, so in the next derivation, as I just now told, that I'll be taking both turning as well as friction, and that would be a important derivation. Yeah, thank you.